We were live. Final stream of the week before we tee it up in Japan in just a few hours. Not sure exactly what time we tee it off, but I think we're getting some TV coverage, and I think we're getting some shot tracker, which is more important than anything. I think the TV coverage starts around 10 or 11 p.m. Eastern time, so I'll probably be awake to watch some of that golf. But I wanted to go through some of the narratives, the interviews heading into the week, golfers you could fade, golfers you could play, add to your lineups late in the week. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right to it. And an overwhelming narrative during the week, and that like every single player talked about was the interviews was the greens are really, really, really fast. Like I've never heard an interview circuit with everyone saying how fast the greens were. Like these are PGA Tour professionals. They see fast greens week in, week out, and now they get to Japan and they all say like these greens are so fast. So I think that's just going to emphasize being a good putter and being able to get up and down from 5 to 10 feet a lot of times, not really on the chipping, on like the making those 5 to 10 foot putts. So look for a golfer who can definitely bang those. You don't want to be sweating Justin Thomas over a 6 foot putt, who's probably going to miss it more times than he's going to make it. And also, they all talked about how important it was driving the ball in the fairway, and they all talked about how um they're hitting different clubs off tee boxes in the practice rounds to see like what the game plan is. Are we gonna hit driver? Are we gonna hit 3 wood? Are we gonna hit an iron? They were like, this rough is not overly thick, but it is demanding, and playing out of the fairway is paramount. So they all talked about that paired with the really fast green. So don't be shocked if we see a driver putter build win this week. Maybe +4 or 5 off the tee, +3. No, +6 on the greens and like +2 on approach, something like that. A nice little driver putter build. I wish Thomas Dietrich was here because he'd probably be like even money to win this golf tournament. But so those were the two main key narratives. Also, Max Homa talked about his breaking up with his coach and his new golf swing, and he said pretty clearly, I feel okay, and I feel like he compared uh playing golf to like riding a bike, and he's like, there's ups and downs. I don't feel great right now, but like we're here, we're playing, and this is a demanding golf course. So I think with that being said, well, let's fade some Max Homa. If we could find a Max Homa matchup. Last week we faded Taylor Montgomery, and how did that work? That worked really, really well. So I'm gonna go and see if I could find any Max Homa matchups in live time. Um, it has to be someone that I like. So let's see. Homa is matched up against Gary Woodland, and he's a dog to Gary Woodland. I'm not sure how much I want to do that, truthfully, because I don't trust the chalk Gary Woodland. But I think if you're fading Max Homa in round matchups, you're fading Max Homa in a full tournament matchup, you're going to make money. So I think that is the key fade that we're going to go for the week is Max Homa. Hot take, not playing good golf. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about the bets, a little bit about the DFS board. Top of the board, I went with Minwoo Lee. Minwoo Lee at 30 to 1. I just think that he makes sense on a golf course that's a driver putter. And like I always worry with his approach game, but he's played well here before. He's hit good iron shots here before. But more than anything, if he's driving the ball both long and straight, he's going to elevate his baseline tremendously. So I think it's a good number in the short field and not really the strongest field either. So I wasn't necessarily going to go with Minwoo at 30 to 1, but I ended up doing it. A little down the board, I went with Mac Meisner 66 to 1. He's gained strokes on approach in every single start since the Canadian Open, and he's posted the best ball striking week of his career at the Black Desert Championship. So he's coming in some really nice form. He's hitting the ball so solidly, so well, and I just think he's a young golfer that has the winning ceiling, and I want to get ahead of. So took a little bit of a long shot on Mac Meisner. Not going to go through every bet because the bets are at Jersey Betting. You can find them all there, so I have to keep some of them under wraps. But that's where I went with the top of the board, Minwoo Lee, and then bottom of the board, Mac Meisner. Have four more bets in the outright market. DFS wise, in the upper range, I think that Colin is my selection. I think it's worth taking that $1,000 cheaper option because they're both going to be around the same ownership. They both check all the boxes. They both make a ton of sense. But Colin has better course history, and he's cheaper. So I just don't think it's that hard of a decision between Colin and Xander. So, I mean, you can't play them both. I mean, unless you're running a ton of lineups, you can't really play them both in the same lineup. So unless you get really ugly. But I do have some 6K plays, so go over to the 6K DFS show. I have a few crazy Japanese names. If you want to hear the 6K plays, go peep those. But I think Colin is the answer up top. So I'm gonna go with him, and then I don't mind Deki at all. I 100% choose Deki over Sahith. I think Sahith is a good fade as well. So if you could find some Sahith fades, I think you could be in business there too. Honestly, I want to take a look and see if we could find any Sahith fades, because like if he's matched up with fucking Colin, like let's see. Sahith. Wait, hold on. Excuse me, I couldn't mute it in time. I'm not feeling that great because I went on a trip and I got back from the trip. Now I'm feeling it a little bit. I got Sahith with Sungjae and Sahith with JT. I don't love those. I'd probably prefer Sungjae over Sahith, but I'm not paying -140 for that. So top of the range, I really like Colin over Xander. I really like Sahith over Deki. I'd rank them Colin, Xander, Deki, Sahith if I had to rank those four. 9K range, I think, like I said, Minwoo. I think he's going to be a great selection. And then it was both Zalatoris and Siwoo kind of going under the radar in terms of DFS. I think one of those two could really have a top 6 finish and be the nuts at like sub 12% ownership. Zalatoris should be single digits too. So I like those two golfers there. In the mid-range, from 8K to 7K, I don't, like I said before, I don't know if I love that chalky Gary Woodland. Or maybe chalky Ricky Fowler. I prefer Ricky Fowler over Gary Woodland. I think Rick is he's played recently, and he's had the best ball striking week of his since his win, which was a long time ago in Detroit. He had the best ball striking week since that win at the Black Desert, I believe. It was the Black Desert or the Shriners. One of those 2 weeks was Ricky's best ball striking week since his win in Detroit. So if you're getting Ricky in good form on a course he finished runner-up at, he should be confident and he should be ready to go. And at $7,600, I think it's a decent play. Might be a little chalky, but I think it will run out. And then bottom of the 8K range, I think Spawn and Power. I think everywhere from Doug Gim, Spawn, and Seamus Power are much better selections than Maverick McNeely and Max Homa at the top of the 8K range. I wasn't really too sure of that pricing. I get some course history at the top of the 8K range, but they're not doing it for me. I like the bottom of the 8K range much, much, much better. And bottom of the 7K range, I don't mind going back to Kevin Yu. Like Kevin Yu at 7-2, he was in the bad wave last week, but he just won 2 starts ago, and he's a ball striking machine. So I'm definitely down for some Kevin Yu at 7-2. And then KH Lee. Like KH Lee finished top 5 last week, gaining 6 strokes ball striking. And when he goes on those little mini spurts, he gets hot. So I like KH Lee, especially on a golf course where you have to hit fairways. 6K range, I'm not going to go too deep into that because I have a show dedicated to that. So go check over that show. But I just want to get on here, give those final interviews. We're fading Max Homa. We're fading Sahith. And we got some outrights. You know where to find them at Jersey Betting. So I will catch you guys soon. No show this weekend. Be back Monday with the RSM? One of these events back in the States. But I'll catch you guys soon. Any questions, you know where to find me. Peace out. Also, like I said earlier, big news coming in the Golf Gambling Podcast realm. I would love feedback from anyone if you're watching it. How can I get better? How can the Golf Gambling Podcast get better? So thank you for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Peace out.